Hello, I'm Harry Harding and welcome to my new online series. These are troubling and uncertain times for actors and indeed for the theatre industry. So I thought whilst we're all locked down, I would keep in touch with my fellow creatives by talking about our favourite subject, ourselves. In this series, I'll be interviewing fellow actors and creatives on everything from their favourite roles to dream castings to funny backstage mishaps and more. But before we proceed, please don't swear and please don't say Macbeth. Oh, hang on a minute. Cue the titles. My guest this episode is writer-director Kim Southey. Kim began working professionally in the industry in 2013, firstly in stage management and later as a director and writer. She studied film and television at the University of Hertfordshire before going on to study an MA in text and performance at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art and Birkbeck University. Whilst at RADA, Kim was the assistant director of an all-female production of The Taming of the Shrew, under the direction of Steve Thompson. She also wrote her first play, a semi-autobiographical comic drama, Growing Pains, which she also directed. Since graduating, Kim has continued to write and direct plays in Hertfordshire and London, with companies such as Original Impact, Theatre N16 and Sense of Place. Kim also runs her own stage school and youth theatre company, Mimic, which she founded in 2018. Kim, welcome to the show. Please don't swear and please don't say Macbeth.
Okay.
Excellent. So how are you? How have you been coping during lockdown? Have you been keeping busy with projects and stuff?
Yeah, I'm quite lucky really. We because obviously I run a stage school, so my normal job is teaching, and we had to close for about 3 weeks, I think it was, maybe slightly more, because obviously we fell into the Easter holidays anyway, and then we went back to online classes. So I've still been working, which is quite nice, and yeah, writing a lot, which is amazing because I never have time to write. So I've just been writing and writing and writing.
So you've been keeping creative then during lockdown?
Yeah, really creative. Yeah, I think we all have our productive days and then our unproductive days. So some days have just been sort of doing absolutely nothing. But yeah, I've been trying to make the most of it and do as much writing as possible, and still sort of planning youth shows here and there. But it's not, it's not too much we can do really with the shows at the moment. So they're all kind of on hold at the moment.
Well, I mean, the entire industry's on hold.
Yeah.
Really, isn't it? Yeah. But that's great that you're able to do more writing.
Definitely. I think the writing always takes a back seat, because
Yes.
it obviously, it's the thing that I want to do, but it's kind of like the bonus. So for me to be able to sit and write for a couple of hours a day is amazing. So yeah, I feel quite lucky really to be able to do that.
Absolutely. So I'm just going to dive straight in with your master's degree.
Okay.
You did in text and performance at the extremely prestigious RADA. What was that experience like? Just being at RADA, studying at RADA, you know?
Yeah, it was weird. It was quite surreal. I think anyone that gets offered a place at RADA is definitely not going to want to turn that down. So it was really strange. I think to be in their halls and know who was walking around there and stuff was amazing.
Mm.
Yeah, it was really really nice to be doing a course that I really cared about and meeting some amazing people. The nice thing was because it was a master's, you met people from all walks of life, people who had children, people who were just graduated, people that were in the middle of their careers. So you sort of could take from what you wanted from the course.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was amazing to be in the building and just to be part of it all, really.
I mean, it's such an extremely impressive accomplishment.
And it's quite nice because it was a mixture of RADA and Birkbeck University.
That's
So
right.
the degree is sort of a combination of a university and a drama school. So you kind of get the best of both worlds as well, which is nice.
As well as being a writer and a director, you have in the past acted, and you are also an actor. So, is there a favourite acting role that you have played? And if so, what is that role?
Oh God, that's hard. Do you know what? I always have a soft spot for musicals. So I think I got to play Wendy in Peter Pan, and that was really fun. I think because you got a really good go at it as well. You got 14 performances, and yeah, I think the opportunity to sing, because I wouldn't really call myself a singer. Obviously, I can hold a tune, but so the chance to sing regularly in a role and play a character that you'd fall in love with from childhood was really nice. So I'd probably say Wendy from Peter Pan. Yeah.
That was a magical show, and if I'm not mistaken, the most successful show in the history of the barn.
I think well, I know it was at the time. I don't know anymore, but if it is, that's amazing. Yeah, it was very popular. It was a really nice one to be part of.
Directed by Darren Barsby, I believe.
Yes, Darren Barsby.
Yeah, haven't heard of him. Yeah. Okay, so as well as an experienced director, you are a writer. So your first play was Growing Pains.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've continued to write since then. So do you feel that at this stage in your career, you're more of a playwright now than a director? And do you prefer one to the other?
I think up until really recently, it's been sort of 50-50. Mm-hmm. I was pushing the directing a lot more while I was doing my degree, and that's the path I wanted to go down. But the more I was sort of doing my degree and writing, the more I realised actually I think I get more satisfaction from the writing, because it's hard because you have to kind of split your time, obviously. So you have to sort of decide which one. Well, I personally feel like I want to put all my energy into something. So the directing got a lot of my energy for a couple of years, and now I feel like the writing is kind of more where I want to go. And I've been writing plays, I think because that's kind of where my experience is, but I have started writing screenplays as well, just to see if I can dabble in that area as well. But that's quite new, so we'll see how it goes.
Wow, so you're branching into film now as well.
I think TV. I think film terrifies me a little bit. I think that might be one more step, maybe in a couple of years. But yeah, I've been much more interested in sort of TV drama in recent times. So I'm sort of writing at the moment. I'm writing a play that I'm hoping could be for stage and screen. So yeah, see where it goes.
Could you tell us a bit more about it, or is it top secret?
No, it's not secret. It hasn't actually got a title yet, though. It's about, so a lot of the plays that I've written are sort of based on personal experiences. I think you should always write about what you know. And yeah, it's about working in theatre, surprise, surprise. It's about a struggling actor who finds herself in a bit of a pickle with some people that she's working with behaving inappropriately with her. So she kind of has to decide whether or not her career is worth, having to deal with all that stuff that she's got to deal with, or whether she's got to kind of make her stand and stick up for herself.
Well, I think a lot of people will be able to relate to the subject matter of that, especially female actors working in the industry now.
Yeah, I hope so. And I think, you know, the writing, especially on, well, screen and stage, writing from female writers is just, it's just such a small proportion of the writers in the industry. So I think it's just really nice to be able to try and push some of our stories out there as well, as opposed to all the men's stories, which, you know, are brilliant as well. But sometimes it's nice to get that perspective from both sides.
Is there someone that inspires you, a particular playwright at all? That you sort of admire or look up to?
I love Duncan Macmillan. He's my favourite playwright, I'd say. He's just written some really real stuff. I think he's amazing. Tamsin Oglesby wrote Future Conditional, which I saw at the, was it Young Vic? I think it was at the Young Vic. Might have been the Old Vic. No, it was at the Old Vic.
One of the Vics.
One of the Vics, yeah. That was fantastic. I thought that was a really, really nice piece of writing. I would like to see more. I think there's definitely a gap there, because I can definitely name more male playwrights than female. So,
and characters as well. There's a distinct lack of female characters out there compared to the male characters. I think it's fair to say.
Definitely, yeah. Well, you know, I'm teaching my students every week, and I have to say to the girls, you know, the chances, there's 1 in 8 roles is for the girls. So, and the competition just to get into drama school is really hard, because they want the boys, because there are less boys in the industry anyway. So it's definitely time to bring up the balance a little bit more, I think. And there's so much exciting stuff out there at the moment, you know, on the TV in particular, that's really inspiring me. Killing Eve, Normal People, Fleabag, all of those that just are fantastic and really exciting, I think, for the younger female generation to look up to.
Absolutely. I've touched on Phoebe in an earlier episode, but I think she's quite inspirational, because she started off as a complete unknown one-woman show at Edinburgh, and now she's writing Bond films. I mean, that's quite a journey.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it's really, yeah. I mean, I suppose she's probably someone that really inspires me, definitely, because to start off with a one-woman show at Edinburgh Fringe. I mean, I'm hoping to take a one-woman show to Edinburgh Fringe now next year.
Is that Growing Pains?
Yes, Growing Pains. Yeah. So if I can get even, you know, half to the point that she got to, then I'll be happy.
I'm sure you will. I've no doubt about that. So you founded your own stage school and youth theatre company, Mimic, which has been successfully running since 2018. And, you know, that's no easy feat. So how much hard work goes into an enterprise like that? And is it rewarding now that has really paid off?
Yeah, I think it's really hard work. I think because I don't like to go in things half-heartedly. So for me, I give it everything, or I won't do it, because I can't. I'm not that kind of person. I've got to do it all. So I think for me, it's been a real learning curve about delegation as well, and learning that you can't do everything. But yeah, it's the most rewarding thing ever, just to work with young people and see them improve and try and inspire them and motivate them in the industry. And I think I think if I could, I would spend all my time just doing that, but I have other dreams, annoyingly. So I think the hardest thing, I think, is just
selfish of you.
I know, but yeah, it's just the balance of running that and trying to do other things at the same time that's the hardest thing, I think. Yeah. Do
you have plans to expand and evolve Mimic?
I think expanding it is a great thing. If that's in your plan, then fantastic. But for me, it's not really about making it bigger. It's about making what I have as brilliant as possible. And we're still not at complete full capacity at the moment. So expanding it to the full capacity is the first step. And then I think I really like the fact that it's really small and local, and, you know, we give a real focus to the local kids. So for me, it's never going to be about, let's just make it as big as possible. It's about containing it. And I feel like sometimes the bigger things get, not necessarily all the time, but the bigger they get, the lower the quality sometimes, or the quality just dips a little bit because your focus has to shift a bit. So
Sure.
yeah.
So there are still some places available.
Yeah. I mean, we're really lucky that the youth theatre side of it is completely full, which is amazing. I never would have expected it so quickly. But the stage school side, we still have some spaces. So that's really exciting because it means that we can welcome some new people in whenever people are ready.
What would one expect from the stage school if one was to join? What can we look forward to?
So it's it's training in performing arts in all three areas. That covers singing, acting and dancing, and we try and sort of focus on industry experience as well. All our teachers are professionals, so that's quite important because we can give them the real hands-on experience, you know. And yeah, it's quite focused on mental health as well. We follow Time for Change, and for us it's important that our students feel as sort of supported and confident as possible, so that when they go into the industry they've got that individuality and confidence to be themselves, because it's not an easy industry to go into.
You're absolutely right. That is very overlooked when preparing people for this industry. The attention on mental health has certainly increased recently, but in terms of preparing younger actors for it, I think it's something that's not looked at all, actually.
I just think it's really important. Well, I've suffered with mental health issues, as have I know a lot of my students, and I just think it's still not really talked about enough. And I think especially in an industry where it's so uncertain, and you know, you've got to kind of figure out who you are whilst having no stability, no income. It's really important that they feel confident and comfortable with dealing with their own brain, which can sometimes play up and mess you around.
Really important, I think, and really, really good that you're doing that. So here's a question for you. What does mimic mean? Where did that come from?
I went through it felt like about 1 million names before I found mimic. It's actually really hard to find a name that's available. We did have an original name, but sadly it was taken and we had to change it. So I think we were really happy with that one. And then by the time we found out we had to change it all, we got to the point where we were like, do you know what? Any name that's available, as long as we like it, then that will work. So yeah, mimic. It's obviously the obvious about mimicking people. When you're acting, you are mimicking a character that you know, as well as taking it in and making it yourself. But I think it just works. I think it's a nice, you know, falls off the tongue easily, and I think it just relates to drama in all ways.
It's a solid name. It's brilliant. So going back to the acting briefly. So, is there a dream role that you would love to play? If you could play anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
It's going back to the musicals. I think the first one that comes to my mind from when I was a teenager has got to be Nancy from Oliver. Loved that role, and I would love to do that. I never got to do it, so I would love to do that role. I think she's such a great character, just, you know, so ahead of her time and so strong and just brilliant.
Nancy's a great choice.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would love to see you as Nancy. I think you'd be brilliant.
Yeah, you can be Bill.
I would love to be Bill. They'd have to cut out his song though, My Name, because I can't hold a tune. But
he says it anyway. It's fine.
Yeah. I would. It would be an honour to be the Bill to your Nancy.
Oh, thank you very much.
Would you give us a rendition of "It's a Fine Life"?
No.
Okay. So finally, are there any projects in the future that you'd like to talk about, or that you're looking forward to getting back to or starting?
Yeah. Apart from all the stage school shows that we've got, because we put on shows all the time, and We've got about 5 different groups, and they're all doing different shows because it's important to me. They all get to learn while doing and all do their own shows. So all of those, and then for the adult company, my play is going on tour next year. So the tour was this year, but it's been pushed back, obviously. So yeah, we're going around a couple of Hertfordshire venues and London, and then we're ending up at the Edinburgh Fringe. So yeah, it's really exciting. I've got an amazing actor as well. She's fantastic. So she will make you laugh and cry, which is just awesome. So yeah, Growing Pains 2021. Look out for it.
I can't wait, and it's fully my intention to go to Edinburgh next year. So I will definitely come and see it. I'll be front row and centre for that.
Fantastic. Good. I can't wait to see you there.
I'll see you in Edinburgh. Well, Kim, thank you very much. It's been lovely talking to you. Stay well and stay safe, and keep up the writing.
I will. Thank you. You too.
Take care. If you would like to be a guest on my show, then private message me on Facebook or Instagram. Or if you're lucky enough to have my telephone number, you can send me a WhatsApp message.